Welcome to Controversies of the Day with Logan.
And Jay,
Well, Logan, how you been, my friend?
fine.
Good, good, good. Well, you haven't been to California lately, have you?
No.
Well, some of our Republican friends have. Yes. We were at the Reagan Library having another one of those debate things or so whatever. I don't know. I mean, the front runner, the guy who's 40 or 50 points ahead of everybody, he wasn't there. So is it all an exercise in what's the big word? Utility? I don't know. Is it futile? Like a waste of time, a waste of effort? Yeah, you got to wonder what is everybody's game plan? What is everybody doing? You know, what's it all about? I mean, I look at Mike Pence, such a pompous guy. He just talks down to people. You know, he's not talking with people, talking down to people. He's so condescending.
He's old and wise, and he's been the VP. He knows so much more.
I guess so. He wants us to bow to him, worship him. I don't know. Anyway, Mike Pence. I mean, this is probably his last hurrah in his political career. You know, so he's trying to make it go as long as he can. I get it. We all like the spotlight or whatever. Maybe other people are looking more down the road, like a younger person like DeSantis, like Vivek. Get your name out there, and then maybe 10 years from now you'll be president, something like that. Political 101. I'm going to do a little bit of that here and there, if you don't mind. But like Ronald Reagan, he ran 3 times: 1968, 1976, 1980. Finally got it. Joe Biden might even be kind of like that too. I don't know how many times Joe ran. I know he ran in '88. A lot of plagiarism got him though. A lot of the media they weren't nice to him back then. They said, "Hey, you took that speech from somebody else." They caught him on a lot of stuff. Anyway, it's a whole different story these days. I think he briefly even ran it in 2008 before dropping off, and then Obama took him in, something like that. So Biden's been running for president forever. So it's that one of those things that at first you don't succeed, try again. So I think there's a little bit of that. And some of them are kind of young for politicians. Even Haley's kind of young for a politician, sort of. Vivek definitely is only in his 30s, but like we've said in the past, these people running for the VP spot. But you said Trump recently said you didn't see any VP caliber.
Well, since he wasn't at the debate last night, yeah, he was out in Michigan at the UAW rally, or he had a rally with him. In any case, he had made mention that none of them look like VP material. So I don't think he's happy with them at all, especially after the night of them just trashing him left and right. And I don't know who all he might have helped in their political career since he got onto the whole scene.
Yeah,
it seems like he helped a few Chris Christie that needed to do stuff.
3 or 4 of them, then yeah.
So I'm kind of confused to why they think that bashing the guy that helped push your career is gonna be helpful by any means.
Well, I mean, the other thing is, are they running because whoever's in their circles and their ears telling them, he's not going to make it, hook or by crook. And they do seem to, I say I don't know, Department of Justice, various attorney generals, wherever, they do seem to be throwing the kitchen sink at him. So, I mean, he is kind of the Teflon Don, though. It doesn't nothing really seems to say. So, hey, what's that shirt you got there, Logan? Well, look at that. Well, looky there. Okay. Talk about making lemonade out of lemons. I'll tell you. Some things just kind of backfire sometimes.
Yeah, well.
I got a little 80s retro thing here. Big Trouble in Little China. Kurt Russell thing going. Anyway, folks. I don't know, man. It was a little disappointing. Were you a little disappointed?
Lackluster.
Yeah, lackluster. There you go.
A lot of bickering amongst them. Opposed to,
I mean, you knew there'd be some of that, but yeah, I know they started to get into a couple good issues, and then I don't know, the moderators just kind of stunk a little bit.
Yeah.
They didn't really keep it focused enough. I don't know, or maybe there are too many people on stage. You need to get rid of a few and really let's have them go head to head a little bit more. I don't know. So, I mean, anybody stand out to you a little bit, or
Tim Scott maybe a little bit more than last time, just because he spoke more. He was a little bit more
assertive.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, I mean him and Haley had a little exchange back and forth.
Yeah, that was
interesting. And then even with Vivek, he had a couple not so nice things to say, because I mean none of them really said anything nice to him except for Vivek. I mean, he came out on, I don't know when he had said it, comes out saying, "Oh, we're all good people here." After a month ago, they were all paid for. So What happened to him?
Yeah,
Like either someone scared him to not be what he was, or for whatever reason he changed. It doesn't make sense to me.
You kind of wonder about
But
that. Well, yeah, somebody told him, tone it down.
and he
You
just
want a cabinet spot? Tone it down.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That was kind of interesting. I think you're right. Tim Scott was more assertive. They definitely worked. His people definitely worked with him last time. The last time, the first one, Milwaukee, he and DeSantis was a little bit like the deer in the headlights. It was like, oh boy. But definitely, I thought Ron DeSantis did good. Again, not great. He needs to step it up to that A+ level. I think he's more of a B plus. Whatever I give him. I thought he did okay.
I think he needs to stop making so many comparisons with Florida. I mean, I get it. I get why he says it. He's trying to show that he has
Record,
this. Yeah, I get that. But at the same time, it just seems kind of supposed to be talking to the American people, saying you're going to do something because I did it. And I don't know. I just don't like the way it sounds. It's not. He needs to stop saying so much Florida stuff. Keep it
Fentanyl
down.
came up a lot.
Yeah, it came up a lot, especially with the border. And the border was the big thing, too. They kept on going back on talking, which I found real funny that Nikki Haley had a lot to say about it this time around, and you hear nothing about the Ukraine situation. Since last time it was brought up, oh, well, you can do Ukraine, you can finance Ukraine and help our country with the border at the same time. But that wasn't an issue this time around. And they didn't even bring up any of the real issue, like sending more money over to a proxy war. But I'm sure she has no problem with that because that's probably in her interest to have that happen.
She's kind of a neocon, so which is sad. It's very sad. I don't know. There's at least a few neocons up on that stage, so
I felt bad for Burham.
yeah,
He
Doug
seems
Burgum,
like a good guy.
like, he does.
He doesn't have the it factor.
Yeah.
Like he's an old dude.
Yeah.
You got a woman up there, you got a black guy up there, you got this kid up there, regardless of any color of him, and then you have DeSantis, who's to me is just still the typical white guy. He does not excite me. He did great in Florida. You're a great governor. You got so much more
He
you can
is.
do in Florida as a governor. You should stay there and set that state up to never have to stay up again.
And I know people down there, and they do like him. Even people that aren't classically Republican, they do. Dave, how you doing?
Outside of Trump actually getting in some real trouble and not being able to run for president, I think he's gonna get the nomination regardless. So these guys need to, if you're there to progress your political career in some fashion, this isn't. You guys look like fools. Chris Christian looked like a giant fool. Like, no pun intended. But
Krispy Kreme. Oh my God.
him and his stupid Donald Duck.
Donald Duck. That's what he's
Chris, what would have been funnier is
Donald Duck.
What would have been funnier is if you would have just not said Donald Duck and just re-emphasized that he keeps on ducking and his name's Donald, and then let the media make the joke for you. You would have came out a little bit funnier. The funniest part about the joke was after he said it, crickets. No one was laughing. Yeah. It wasn't like this big fanfare like he thought he was going to get like some kind of.
Yeah, I know. He's always looking for it. Yeah.
So yeah, geez.
Yeah, no, I don't like Christie. I don't know why he's there. I don't know what he's doing. He says that if he doesn't do good in New Hampshire, he's going to get out of the way. So we'll see. We'll see if if he what's going to happen there. At least one NYU professor, Scott Galloway, thinks he's going to do good. Okay, professor, I'm waiting to see the magic because they ain't happened yet here. We'll see if the polls go up. I don't trust polls. They are interesting, but we'll see. Biden's is the lowest approval rating ever in his presidency so far. That's what they say. Again, I don't trust polls, but I wouldn't be surprised if that one's a little truth in that one.
So, oh, but he'll come back. He'll have the most votes ever again.
I wonder. You really got to wonder what we're dealing with here. Yeah, so Vivek, you're right. He was really kind of toned down. Like somebody talked to him and calm down, kid. And then Doug Burgum. I mean, he needs something. He needs a big shot in the arm, some steroids. I don't know, something. Just figuratively speaking, steroids, but something for his campaign to get going here. Pence, this is probably the last hurrah. I mean, that's what I would guess for the guy. What a pompous guy. My wife called him Pompous Pence. Yeah, that's what he is. Tim Scott, yeah, I thought he was more assertive. Yeah, he got into it with Haley, who I think he owes her a little bit. She might have appointed him to that position. I guess somebody else stepped down. We'll get into that another time. Um, what's interesting about Haley and Scott is that they're both South Carolina, and that's I think the third primary. So they could both hurt each other. I wonder if one of them will be out by then. We'll kind of see what happens there if they will make some kind of deal. You know, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Will Glenn Youngquist, I'm not sure if I'm saying Glenn's name, he's the governor of Virginia, will he enter the race? So, and we'll see, who, if they let some of these people off, say, no, your numbers aren't good enough. I was disappointed again, Larry Elder wasn't there, but I guess they're not going to let Larry play in the sandbox. I don't know. I think it's sad. I think it's a big mistake. He had a great appearance that you saw recently in Patrick Bet-David's Value show. So Larry Elder, we do wish you all the best, and we do hope that we see you in the political realm at some point
Yeah, he
somewhere.
was at the debate. Is it Dave Rubin? I think Dave Rubin had a show during or after. I think it was after as well, where he had Larry Elder on, and then Pat was also there, and they had some words back and forth about the debate, what they thought of it. And Larry had something to say about the conditions of him not making it into the first one and make it impossible for him to even have a chance to make it to the second one. So he
Yeah.
was a little pissy about that.
Yeah, and if Donald Trump should become president again, be our 45th and then our 47th, I guess if I got that right. Uh, I hope he brings in people, better people than he brought in last time. He brought in a lot of people last time that weren't good for him, weren't good for America. Manafort for one, Scaramucci. We could be here for the next half hour. But Larry Elder, I don't know capacity, but Larry Elder could be somebody. Candace Owens, people like that. I hope he looks around and sees things. RFK Jr. There's somebody I think we're going to be talking about. We've talked about before. I feel we're talking about a little more again down the road. Tulsi Gabbard. I don't know what role, but I hope it would be really interesting if Trump got back in and he just didn't play the game as much and really had a real eclectic, cabinet. That would be.
I think that was the first. Excuse me, his problem the first time around. I think I want to say Rescue wasn't prepared, but he wasn't prepared for that type of hostile environment.
Yeah, people don't think about this, and it doesn't get written about enough. But a lot of our presidents is surrounded by people that don't always have their best interests
Yeah.
or the country's. Happens a lot, folks, more than you think. That when the president comes in, they have to appoint so many people, and they got so many people whispering in their ear, "Oh, get this person," and they're not always the best people. And sometimes that happens way too fast. And anyway, we only see what the result is sometimes. But yeah, there was a couple funny moments, but still, yeah, overall it was disappointing. I was disappointed. Again, Tim Scott, I thought he did better, like you say. Vivek, yeah, he pulled back. Nikki Haley, I thought she still did okay, for what she's going for. I'm not sure if Trump is, going to totally say, no to her is in some capacity. She could be his Secretary of State potentially. I don't know. I still think she's got a big future ahead of her. Again, that's not an endorsement. That's just a prediction. We'll see what happens. I may put some money on a Vegas betting site on that. So we'll see. I haven't done it yet. I was looking some up the other day though. Just checking it out. Now the other thing is interesting is that I guess we talked about it. I don't know, a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago. So Gavin Newsom and Ron DeSantis, Florida versus California, they are going to have their own little side thing, little side debate, I guess, in November. So we'll have something to talk about there. And you wonder what's that all about? What are we doing there, guys? Okay, Gavin's obviously thinking down the road, if not 2024, I may be running for president somewhere down the road, and obviously DeSantis is running for president. So
Well, DeSantis needs to be very, very careful with this.
you were saying
So
you were saying
after the debate, Hannity had an after show where he interviewed all the candidates, and the last one he kept on pumping and talking it up was having Gavin. Gavin sat down, and even some of the articles this morning, he didn't see anything. Gavin wasn't impressed. He didn't like it. So in any case, Gavin sits down with Hannity. Hannity's there just poking him with whatever questions. Are you going to run? Trying to get him different ways to get him caught up and saying bitching about the gas prices and kind of attacking Biden in the sense that Gavin would stick up for him and make outlandish claims, and the economy is the best it's been, or not necessarily the economy. I can't remember what he said, but he's trying to sit there and say things that Biden's done, like maybe even some of it was immigration with the border. It was doing a great job, great strides, and all this. Even though Hannity would go back to, well, look at your own state. You got $7 gas. What is this? He goes, oh, it's the did he say oil companies? Maybe they're screwing us. He kept on saying screwing us, and he goes, you can do the breakdowns. Only California only adds on 88 cents, where this other entity, again, I'm assuming it was the oil companies. He says, I can't recall. He says it adds a $2.06 to the gas prices. So he definitely was blaming this. So he
Crazy.
over and over saying it. So he might have some validity to that, or still some, Anyways, the whole point is this guy looked like Hollywood. He looked like McConaughey. He was smooth. He looked good. He was dressed. He was all smiles. He was not tense at one bit. He was there. He was ready. He was ready to play, even with Hannity's little, sucker punches, if you want to call him that. He not one time did he really falter. He never. He was.
Wow. I gotta check that out.
It was impressive. And again, I do not like this guy by any means, but it was very impressive to watch this man talk and work his magic with Hannity, knowing you're talking to the opposition. So we know DeSantis isn't as fluid when it comes to like these natural,
polished.
these conversations. Even last night he still looked kind of stiff, rigid. It's hard. It's not. He can't, like when he's in front of a bunch of reporters and stuff in his own state, when he feels that power because he knows he has it. Not saying it as like a bad thing, but he knows who he is. When he's in Florida and he can have that banter back to those reporters,
right.
It's not the same feeling you're getting from this guy on stage with 6 other people around you, 5 other people around you,
funny.
and you don't get the free form talk. You have to kind of stay condensed to these small little sound bites, which always annoys me. No one ever actually just answers the question. Oh, if you were president, would you do this? Yeah. What about you? You're next. Come on. Well, I don't understand why it's like it's always against some kind of political speech to roll in more people.
Oh, yeah.
God, it sucks. I hate it. I'm so bad to hate.
That's what they do.
Again, having another podcaster or Pat or
that'd be
these other influencers that actually ask questions and have interesting guests. I mean,
yeah, have Crowder and Pat David.
I would say
have them be moderators.
Pat would probably be the best. I mean, he's had RFK Jr. He's had Anthony Weiner on. He's had a lot of people on and had great interviews, and he doesn't pull punches. And knowing that he is the person in charge during these interviews, he's going to hold you to answering these questions. Just like I think if he was the moderator and you had these 6 people up on stage, I think it would have been completely different. It would have been more of an actual political debate, not just a bunch of people up there hooting and hollering, saying you're worse than I am, blah blah blah. So again,
we always have some of that, but we definitely need better moderators. Yeah, Brett Baer was weak last time. I thought Megyn Kelly was trying to give too much attention to herself, and Stuart Varney was just okay last night. The other gal from Univision, I'm not sure. I don't think she really knew what she was doing either. So
no, you couldn't understand her. And again, it is not being mean by any means, but she was the wrong person. I couldn't understand questions she was asking. She was stuttering over herself. It just wasn't. What upsets me the most is it this shitty because they're purposely trying to, like, I don't know, dumb us down, make the Republicans look like a bunch of idiots anyways, and then are we gonna, if Biden doesn't run for whatever reason, that means we're gonna have to have multiple Democrats kind of stand up in the last month or so and have a debate themselves. And there's going to be a lot more.
Have a brokered convention next summer.
They're going to have a lot more.
They may have to just all decide at the convention. Who knows? There's a lot of scenarios here. Could get very, very interesting, my friend. Very interesting. I mean, like I was telling you, Bernie Sanders made a little trip to New Hampshire a couple of weeks back, made a little speech, and somebody on one of the CBS morning shows asked him, "Why were you doing that? You've had some luck in New Hampshire before." He's like, No, it's okay. No, I was just doing a speech. Biden's going to be the guy. Oh, yeah, it's all good. No, he's doing good. He's fine. It's like, well, okay. You just happen to go to New Hampshire and happen to make a speech. This is like 2 or 3 weeks ago, folks. I don't know. Look it up if you don't believe me. It was in CBS Morning News on Sunday morning, maybe 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, you just kind of wonder what's going on there. Everybody's wondering, like, Gavin shows up. Gavin's going to do the side thing with Ron DeSantis. What's it all about here, kids? Yeah, and like I said, I was telling you, I think the group was called Futures Now, and it was a commercial, and it was a pro-choice commercial. That was the main gist of it. I don't know if they're a pro-choice, pro-abortion group, whatever. But all it showed was Kamala Harris as a politician. It didn't show Kamala and Joe Biden. No.
Well, what's a white man have to do with any kind of choice?
I just thought, well, what do they say? Okay, she's going to be the future, or you're trying to do a commercial just in case Joe steps down and Kamala's got to take the wheel. Oh, God. Heaven help us all. And I think that could happen, folks, soon. We shall see. So many questions. How will Gavin and DeSantis do going against each other in November? Will that mean anything? Is Trump ever going to show up at any of these debates? Will he need to at some point, or just don't even worry about it? Just get your name on all 50 state ballots and go from there and do your thing, Donald? What's going to happen? So who knows? Will Joe Biden, our current president, step down by Halloween? All these questions and so many more, Logan, we will be working on. And go ahead. Sorry.
I was just saying Biden might that might be something that's going to happen. I believe isn't the IRS looking into Hunter's taxes? And I'm sure there's been talk about they're going to find stuff about Joe in there. So he might be stepping down before any of this comes out.
You get all these Democrats going, there's nothing there. There's no proof of any money going to Joe Biden. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. All right, we'll see. There's an inquiry. There's an impeachment inquiry going on now. So it's just a little first dip in the toe. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just saying people are saying that we're the ones also, Russian collusion. There it is. There's proof.
Russian collusion.
2 years of special counsel, not an ounce of evidence of anything. If anything, it proved that the DNC actually propped that thing up, the whole dossier.
The dossier thing. Yeah.
So,
crazy. It's a crazy world, man. It's a crazy world. It's probably going to get even crazier, folks. But you can come here and have a little fun with the crazy. That's what Logan and I like to do. Have a little fun with the controversies of the day with Logan
and Jay.
That's right. All right. Take care, everyone. Love to all of you. God bless. Hit the subscribe button, please, and tell a friend. Tell a friend about this. Thank you so much. Have a great day.